All right, so it's new project day. Now I've had this one for a little while, but now that the weather's turned a lot nicer today, it's like 15 degrees out, let's talk about it. So you may remember this engine from a previous video. This is the Duramax, the LBZ, and this is the engine going into it. I'm just building the heads right now, but nice orange Duramax, right? Anyway, the wife and I like to travel around, and we thought, wow, let's look for an old motorhome, right? So I was trying to find one of those old Winnebago Braves, but those just do not pop up, especially when you want one, right? Either way, I started looking around, and my neighbor, well, within 5K anyway, had this sitting on his property. It's been in this tree line for 17 years. His name's Mark, good guy. And he's had it for the past 25 years, but this is a 1970 Chevallero. It's pretty ugly, but I love it. It's very aerodynamic compared to the other ones that you'd see in these years, right? But it's basically a GM P30 van under there, so it's got a complete GM driveline, but we'll get more into the mechanical nature as we go through and replace it. But yeah, the wife's gonna do the interior. I'm gonna do, I guess, everything else. But first I need to power wash it and get this thing clean so I can start digging into it. I want to rip the interior out and we'll do all that, but right now there's a whole ecosystem growing on the roof I want to get rid of, and because it's actually making the roof concave, so we'll have to jack the roof up, and like I said, we'll get into the mechanical nature of it later and what else we're going to do to it. But first, let's clean this thing up and we'll talk more about it. I have the feeling this is going to be the first of many washings. I feel like I'm just giving it the pre-soak right now. All right, so also in 1970, the sports coach was so ahead of its time, they thought of everything, including, you saw when I was washing it, you can't reach the top of the windows, right? So in the engine bay, they provided a squeegee, which is still here. So I'm gonna do the upper part of the windows while I'm here. Still pretty soft, actually. So here's a couple things I noticed while I'm up here. See the roof perimeter, that black sealant that's all cracked off? It's like a strip of aluminum along each side, which is bolted down to the outside aluminum extrusions, and then it looks like underneath the sealant there's another row of bolts that actually holds the roof down. So I'm wondering if I can just undo that entire flange, maybe even raise the roof and reattach it, and then reseal it, because the roof's kind of going concave. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of going the wrong way. Either way, we'll get that sorted out. But also, check out that grill right there. It does nothing. It's just there for, I don't know, aesthetics or something. So maybe we could actually change that into a light, or maybe like a scrolling LED bar back and forth or something. Who knows? And yeah, that's kind of funny there. You can see there's a hole that goes right through to the inside of the truck right there. Obviously the rubbers have shrunk, but got to change all that out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let's go for a tour of the inside. Now this isn't very nice. Many years have not been good to it. So there's what's left of the kitchen. You can see the cupboards have fallen down. That was actually intact before we started moving this thing. It was all intact, but the bumps on the road coming down here just ripped the rest of it off the wall. You can see the roof. It's all the water damage it's gone through, and it's actually doing this right now. And after power washing it, it's still dripping in the far corner over there. Yeah, over here it's got the standard L-shaped couch, table, the 4-burner stove, and oven, both of which are going. But down here there's a fridge, and up here there's a freezer unit. And this is there's no power to it. You just put a block of ice in there, I guess, and it's just a cooler. That down here is where the generator sat, and there's what's left of all the wire hookups and everything. So looking forward to removing all this. Underneath the carpet, it's just 3/4 inch ply with 2 inches of insulation, and then another sheet of aluminum. So let's go forwards first. In the front of the cab, or what I like to call the bridge, it's got some pretty cool swivel seats actually, and the armrests sort of, yeah, they fold up like that and then they drop down. But it's really gross in here. So the chairs I might recycle depending on how they work out. Definitely use the swivel bases. This is the engine cover, and pull that off to actually access the engine, because you can't access it from the front. See what's left of the AC unit. The dash isn't too bad. It's just hard plastic, but that'll get totally gutted and revamped. There's that. I really wish there was an 8-track in here, but that's just a regular stereo, and that'll go. So remember from the outside I showed you that vent up top? This is it here. It does nothing. So let's open that up and get rid of all this padding here. I guess, you know, hit your head on there. Look at the wood's just coming down everywhere. So let's go back. All right, so we got 2 beds. Apparently this model, the 25-footer, sleeps 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess, on there. Another closet, that's going. Freezer, going. Beds, going. More windows, more cabinets. It gets really dark back here now, but there's no lights other than these things, but this roof's fallen in as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. And in the back, there's the can. And the green sort of matches the outside of the coach as well. And same thing, it's got a shower. But in this one, it's got an emergency hatch up in the top there. And you can see that thing in the corner of the roof. I guess they show in the brochure a bunch of people standing on the roof, and I guess they, I don't know, jump through there, get up, put your feet up on the sink and hop up the roof, I guess. I don't know how that works. But also back here on the coach, there's a big plexiglass window, where I guess on the bigger model, that's a window. But in this coach, it's just a wall. So I think we're totally going to put that window back in there. And then in this cupboard, it's just water tanks and another closet space. So I think in a lot of the other coaches you see, they'll lift this area up, put the bed on it, storage underneath, and then open that window up. And then I have no idea what the wife's got for the floor plan. All I have to do is gut it, and she'll figure it out from there. Old AC unit. We'll get rid of that too. There's been a lot of advances since this coach was around as far as electronics go, so I want to rip everything out of here and redo all the wiring and put all new tech stuff in here. So yeah, I think that'll be really interesting. It looks like hell right now, but after the time lapse and we rip all this stuff out and toss it, it'll seem much more open and much more undaunting. So let's do some time lapse and get all this crap out of here. All right, so one thing I forgot about was the fact that these are both connected with the propane line. Mark, the previous owner, said there's probably still gas in it. So before I start wiggling this thing around and cutting it out, I should probably disconnect the tank, turn it off, purge the lines, just let it air out for a little, make sure there's nothing in the tanks before I start cutting it off, you know? Oh well, let's keep cutting. All right, now that the back half is kind of torn apart, I'm gonna rip this cabinet down up here. See, it's kind of almost falling down on itself, but in this one, got some books. But the funniest book here is the Sexual Astrology. Oh yeah, that's a keeper. We'll read through that one later. Put it right beside the Stop You're Driving Me Crazy. How to keep the people in your life from driving you up the wall. This could be important. All right, let's keep ripping this thing out. All right, so here we are. We've been able to knock out quite a bit of stuff. We got rid of the closets, the freezer, the beds, the walls, and now we're finally at the back wall. And I'm anxious to get this wall off because if I go to the outside here, look at all that crap. That's the second load going to the dump now. But take a look at the back wall here. There's a window there. Although we'll make that a window right now, that's plexiglass, but I want to get that back wall and take a look, or get that back wall exposed and see what's going on here. So, not gonna break that off. Oh, look, a medicine cabinet. Wait. There we go, 1970s. What do we got? Glade, Country Breeze. We got men's stick, deodorant. That probably still good. Got some foot fungus. I'm just gonna leave that there. Oh, I got Irish Spring Sport. Nice. Probably use that right now. Is that a new box? It's a new box. Soap broke in half. It's probably still good though. What we got? Extra toothbrush, extra TP. I'm not touching anything else. There we go. Poison antidote chart. That's probably pretty good actually. Oh, there you go. How to tie your necktie. There you go. All right, let's do some more. Let's do some more time lapse and get this back wall out of here. All right, well, there's a funny issue. I just sawzalled the tap out of the corner of the sink, right, so I could get this out. Sawzalled the drain out, but now I just realized it's so big, I can't get it out the tiny door. So I'm gonna have to sawzall it in half anyway. I guess clearly this thing is installed before all the walls are on. Oh well. We should keep that in mind when it comes time for actually putting another shower in here or whatever we're gonna do. All right, so now we can see what's going on back here. So this was the back wall where the bathroom was, or plumbing. I just hacked that out. But we got this cavity here of that cool 70s rear fin setup, right? And then we'll make this a window. This is just black plexiglass. You can see an opening right there. Rip that out, make that glass. Probably see the steel strut going across here? That attaches to these side beams. I'm pretty sure the only reason this coach is still here is because it's all aluminum. The walls on the inside are all aluminum, the walls on the outside are all aluminum. and it's got this giant aluminum beam in the middle and the top. Where the wood is across the roof, it's all gone, but I'll end up putting new ribs across the roof, maybe even putting an arc in it this way. But that's the only reason I think this coach is still here. If this thing was wood, it'd be toast a long time ago. So I think the plan would be to use that steel frame there, and that'll be the new bed frame, and then build a platform out to sit the bed on it, and then, you know, box that in and insulate everything in the back there. And then in the back there's a spare wheel opening, but I think we'll knock the spare wheel out and actually make that a hole here that will go underneath of the bed, and I'll show you that from the outside when we get there. But man, I got a lot of crap to clean up in the meantime, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do now. All right, so the RV has more or less been gutted. Good enough for now anyway. So we got some pretty major water damage all across the top here. So how this thing is built, from as far as I can tell, is that we got the aluminum skin, 2 inches of insulation, another aluminum skin. It's got these extruded metal beams, as you know. But the roof is all wood except for an aluminum skin on the very top. But you can see the condition of the wood, it's not very good. It's pretty much rotted out all the way across. So by digging it out, you can see it's only got 2 inches of wood up in there, and then it's got the aluminum skin on the very top of the roof. So I think it's time for some drastic measures here. There's a lot of holes in the roof here. We got vents, we got bumps up top for lights apparently that are in there. We got the AC unit, a vent, and an escape hatch in the far corner there. So I think I'm just gonna make a whole new roof for it. Because right now the ceiling height on this thing is, I think it's like 6'2", and you can see him, it's kind of just rubbing me there, right? My son is 6'4", can't even stand up in here. So I think I'm going to make a whole new roof system, and I'm going to arc it up. So I've got some 2x12s, and I'm gonna replace the wood across the roof, and I'm gonna put an arc in it and give myself another 6 inches of head height, and it'll bolt into these enduro beams, these extruded aluminum beams on either side. So before I start really getting into the interior of this thing, it's time to do the roof. So I'm going to knock out the AC unit, unbolt all the bolts from around the outside, and then start peeling the roof back. I don't know if I can use the original aluminum skin, but I think it's just going to be easier to buy new aluminum panels, and then I can make them thicker however I need. So let's get the roof off. All right, one thing for sure, this thing is not light. I don't know an easy way to get it down, quite honestly, so I'm just gonna let it drop and get on the other side of it here. It's got to be close to 75 pounds. Hoping I just don't take out a window or the trim. So let's find its balance point. It's pretty good. Got a couple of rooms. Well, shit. As the kids say, fuck it. No problem. Easy 8-foot fall. Looks a little impact crater, but that's one less thing I have to deal with. Oh yeah, let's look at that. Oh, not that much more light. Anyway, so let's get ripping the roof off. All right, so roof removal is pretty straightforward. just very time consuming. I'll show you what's going on. So there's a piece I've already done. You can see that aluminum flashing there. That actually fits between the aluminum skin on the roof and the extruded aluminum beam. So I'm just removing that plate, and then we can actually just lift the whole roof right off there. See how that's lifting up already? So see what I mean? Like, I got light, vent, emergency exit, vent under there, another, or roof vent, another vent for the black tank, another one here, and then there was some sort of range vent over there which leaked, and then it's leaking all across the front. So let's just get rid of all of this and make it all new. It's not that bad. It's like 18 feet by 7 feet, so 5 4x8 sheets of aluminum will get me where I need to be, and I get a nice crown out of it. So this thing was designed in California, and that's probably fine for areas where it's nice and dry, but of course we get a lot of snow and rain here. So by putting a crown on it, I can help keep some of that snow and rain from pooling up on it. Because like I said, this thing became concave after a while, and then the rain just sat up on here. So let's get rid of this, and we'll start making the new beams, or trusses, or joists, or whatever you want to call them. All right, so now that the strips are off the outside of the roof, check this out. So this is a spreader bar I got in here. I'm just gonna check it out. There she goes. Daylight. Nice. But I think before I go any further with this, I'm going to end this video here. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, subscribe, and then you can follow us along on these adventures of this RV and this roof, the 1970 Chevallero.